been asking if I had been going the distance. Sing a prayer for passion that I cannot deny.
Hello everybody, my name is Skybound,
Starflux.
and we just got finished watching episode 17 or season 2 episode 4, was it 4? Yeah, it was 4, of My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia, and
It was a bloody cliffhanger, wasn't it?
it was a cliffhanger episode. Not as not as exciting as the previous episode, but you know, so far that would be a difficult one.
That would be a very difficult one to beat.
But it was still a very interesting episode in that, you know, so we've essentially got a cavalry battle kind of thing, which is essentially, I guess, you get three people to act as a horse, and then you have one rider, and you have to use your powers to sort of keep. Why do I feel like this could potentially be something that could just be done without special powers?
Yeah, it kind of
Literally, you could do this with like a school or something. It'd be great.
well, I don't know whether it's something that's actually done in the real world or not.
Maybe it's a Japanese thing. I don't know, but
I don't know, but it does seem like that the Class B does seem like they seem quite a lot of devious lot, don't they? The fact that they waited back to see what other people's quirks were, but that's kind of interesting in a way when you think about the fact that.
well, that's pretty much the same way that Midoriya has kind of done things.
Midoriya, because he didn't use his quirk in the first on, despite flipping winning it, that means they don't know what his quirk is. He could easily catch them out of guard, because they don't know what his quirk actually is.
But the thing is, if he uses his quirk, he immediately gives it away, and he also gives away the fact that he can't really control it without damaging himself, which is a massive kind of weakness. But really, the whole plan of throwing the prelims a bit so that you can just observe, see what powers people have got, and take advantage of those, and you know what their personality's like and everything. That's probably a pretty solid tactic if they can.
Well, waiting back and allowing everyone else to fight it out and observing them is actually not that bad of a tactic.
It's the strategy, really, isn't it?
Well, the comparison I was going to compare it to was this is completely different to anything that I've compared it to before. In Robot Wars, there was one battle in Robot Wars that actually was won by one of the teams just by waiting back and allowing everyone else to fight it out, and then basically taking out the remainder after they basically not tired themselves out, but got them battered and bruised. It was in one of the melee battles of the last Robot Wars series. But but as I say, that's a valid tactic. Waiting back and seeing what other people are capable of doing, because then you can actually say, okay, I know who I have to actually aim for and go for.
Yeah, or I know when that person is going to be kind of most vulnerable to some sort of attack. And that seems to be what the Class B took advantage of, and that's a really solid tactic. Now, what I also find interesting is the fact that Leader he had that, they had a solid strategy that involved using Leader, but he decides not to join them because he wants to beat Midoriya as well.
He does want to beat him, and he does seem like I think he still respects Midoriya, but I think it's a case of he wants to actually get better, and he doesn't think he could get better if he was still in the same team as him. So he wanted to get a chance of actually bettering himself without him.
So instead we get Best Girl Uraraka and Steampunk Girl.
Oh god, that girl! It's like every single startup, every person who's ever started up a startup ever. It's your typical Valley tech person.
They can go on like Dragon's Den or something. This is my invention, the hover boot. I'll tell you where I am. I'm out.
It's like the whole movie idea. It's like. But B got that obsessed to the point where she's literally calling them her babies.
Yeah. Your babies are awesome. You know?
Oh god, what just literally made me do a spectating out and think, oh yeah, forgot to mention bloody Jackson in the comment.
But
well, not comments.
I suppose in a way, you know, they were creative with it. We don't really know what the outcome's going to be because, of course, the episode ends halfway through the battle because it has to, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, of course it will, because bloody cliffhanger. Oh god, I'm gonna have to wait until next week. Well, I will. Well, anyway.
Well, I will as well. I won't be watching the episode until we get together next week. So it's like, yeah, we'll basically have to wait, wondering what's going to happen. Excellent. But still, that's really. It was a really good way of sort of doing the episode, and the battle itself seemed interesting. The strategy, I'm curious to see what kind of strategies they're going to use. I'm also curious if Midoriya is going to end up with the still with the 10 million.
I'm actually kind of interested as well, because if he's won the last one, I'm not sure if he would win the second one again. I expect him to lose it at some point, and for him to try and gain it back. Whether he does or not is another question altogether. But
yeah, I mean there wouldn't be much kind of
conflict.
There won't be much conflict in this if he won every time. But I'm curious to see what will actually happen with him with that. So
yeah,
I guess we just have to wait. Other things. What else happened in that episode apart from?
Oh, that guy with those sticky purple. What's his name again?
Oh god, I can't remember. The guy who throws balls at people.
That sounds so wrong out of context. But yeah, the fact that he actually came up with a valid strategy as well. And actually caught.
It's basically throwing flubber at people.
Yeah, but he actually caught caused some actual trouble there in that.
Yes, and yeah, it was always, and I think Tsuyu had a pretty good strategy as well as trying to use her tongue to grab the thing. Luckily, Midoriya was good at dodging, which he seems to have. He seems
to be really flipping good at dodging.
You want him in your dodgeball team, guys.
If there is a dodgeball round, he wants to be in there.
Yeah, he'll be a shoo-in if it's a dodgeball round. Just like
a shoo-in?
Yeah, a shoo-in. It means he'd nail it. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say. Really, it was an enjoyable episode.
It was an enjoyable episode. I wouldn't say it's as exciting as the previous one.
Oh no, definitely not as exciting as the previous one.
But it was still a good episode. I would give it a solid 8.5.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'd go with.
It's a difficult.
I'd go with. I'll go slightly lower than you. I'm going to go with 8 on that one, just because I feel like.
Well, okay. To be fair, there has been other episodes like that has been higher than that, so I'll give it 8.1. Thinking about it. Because it wasn't really that exciting. I think it's just building up for something else, but it was still.
I'm very curious to see what the next episode will be, but yeah, I think this one in particular, just due to the fact there hasn't been a massive amount of, I guess.
There hasn't really been much.
There's not much suspense so far.
No,
like it's. We're curious what's going to happen with Midoriya. We're curious who's going to get that 10 million points in the end. But ultimately, yeah, it doesn't feel like the same level of conflict or
something that I've noticed as well. You know the Fire and Ice guy, which I can never remember his name of. Despite being the guy who's pretty much going to rush into getting a. Well, you know the guy who's basically got fire and ice on one side?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like he's got a bit of problem with his father.
He's got some daddy issues.
It does seem like he's got some issues there, because he seems to. It just occurred to me that he did say something about, I'm not going to use. I forget which side he was going to say.
He said his right. He said his right side, but I'll be honest. Usually the show is so fast paced, I lose track of which side is fire and which side is ice with him.
But I think he's basically saying he doesn't want to use the fire side of things because it's obviously something with his dad that, he wants to prove to his dad that he's different to him, or something. It's to do with his dad, and the fact his dad's got fire is one of his quirks.
Yeah.
So there's definitely something there because he's not willing to use the fire part. He's just, because if you look at what he uses most of the time, he uses the ice.
Yeah. But anyway, we've given our verdict, our episode 4. I think all that really remains for us to say is thank you for watching. Keep subscribed if you want to see more anime reactions, including upcoming ones such as Sword Art Online Season 3.
And
definitely look forward to that.
We're planning
Steins Gate from 2011. We've watched 3 episodes of that so far that's sitting in the back burner. We're really impressed with it so far, and we're going to continue
even if
watching
it is
that.
a stay. What the fuck?
Yeah, keep an eye out for those. Obviously, we can't actually. So our schedule is going to be we're gonna keep this on Wednesdays. We're going to keep MLP on Saturdays until the end of that season, but then we're going to go onto Steins Gate, and Sword Art Online also begins on the 6th of October. So that's when we're going to start watching.
We've got
Sword Art Online. We've got things queued up.
We've got so many things queued up, and we've already recorded a whole lot of stuff that's ready to be released. We just need to find when to release it, basically.
We just need to edit it together, basically. So please subscribe, please like, comment, and share our videos around if you enjoy them. Watch our reactions, do all that good stuff, and we will see you at the next episode of My Hero Academia. Goodbye.
Bye.